welcome to Flip of the Week. Today we're going to be talking about drumming without the sticks. So I don't have any sticks today. I brought my stick bag here to show you some of the cool toys that I have that drummers, well, they sometimes use, but you know, some people don't always know about them until they've checked them out. So I have a pair of brushes here. These are Firth Heritage brushes, and I suggest every drummer get yourself a pair of brushes. Next, here I have some Timpani mallets. These are Firth Cartwheel mallets that work well for like cymbal rolls and stuff. I'll show you those. Then these are the swizzle sticks, which have a mallet on one side and a drumstick tip on the other. These are really hip. A lot of cool things you can do with those. Then I also have this is the Tambourine stick. This is pretty hip for using some different things. That's pretty much what I use in my general gigs in my stick bag here. However, here at home, I have a few other little surprises I'll get into, but those are the main ones, so we'll start there. The cool thing about brushes is that they can make a sweeping sound. Sticks really can't do this, but brushes can do this. They can make more of a long, elongated sweeping sound, very useful for ballads and jazz and softer music. First would be the pretty common, standard sweeping brush stroke. Also, these are great if I'm playing like a really soft groove in a quiet setting. They get all those kinds of different sounds. Some swells with the rubber handles, some little scrapes with the metal ends, that sort of thing. So these are pretty fun. You can also get little fan sounds like this, or this, that sort of stuff. So I suggest drummers get a pair of these, and if you really can't even practice on a drum set, you can take an old snare drum head, just any old beat up one, and it's pretty quiet. It's great for quiet practice as brushes. These are Timpani mallets. These are great because they're very soft, and since they have a lot of surface area, they get a very wide, nice legato sound out of a cymbal without a lot of attack. Like this crash cymbal over here. Use China. They work really well for that, and they also work pretty cool. They make pretty cool sounds on the drums when you hit like toms and things because they lighten the attack a lot, and you get these kind of sounds. Now, in the mallet family, I also have these swizzle sticks, which are a mallet on the end, but the great thing about these is they also have a tip. So these are excellent for ballads. I'll play a little example of that right now. I can get some more swells and also the tip sound, and you know, there's just a lot of practical applications for these. They're great for musicals. If you're doing musicals, sometimes there's a cymbal swell and then a drum kit part, and you don't want to destroy your mallets. These are great. Next, I have this tambourine stick, which honestly is kind of awkward to work with at first because you have to remember the principles of a tambourine are that for every strike forward, there's a strike back. So I usually try to start the stroke up in the air with the jingles back. That way when I go down, I get the downbeat. A lot of people just kind of start up like this, and that usually creates kind of a shuffle until they get it going. The other thing I like to do is I try to sweep it sideways. That way the sound is even. When I have this downward motion, it gives it more of like a definitive downbeat, but it's not very even like a tambourine usually does sound. So I usually start back here and then just start playing it sideways, which is kind of a weird lateral motion versus the downstroking of your left hand. So it's something I had to practice. Now these tambourine sticks are also great because you can also reach things. Like for example, the bell. If you wanted to play like 16th notes in it, but you want to play the quarter notes on the bell, you can do something like this. So those are pretty hip. I suggest everybody try to get one of these. You know, they're pretty fun. I think LP makes these. Next, I have some more interesting ones I don't really get to use on the gig, but they're kind of fun. I have recorded with them a few times. These are more homemade. This is a drumstick with a little Maraca, like egg shaker taped to it. I saw Sean Pelton and Jim Keltner use these. So these are kind of hip because when you're playing, you know, just a normal groove, you get a little bit more pizzazz in the stick movement. I also put this little rod ending to it and taped it on because it gives it a much more muddled tom sound. It gives it a more of a dead sound on the cymbal. So it's just an alternate sound. Another cool toy that I have around are these tubes made by Promark. They're like a very thin plastic, very light sounding instrument that these I found play a note of G, but I'm sure that the shorter or longer they are, thicker, they change their pitches. I think they make a few different ones. But these I like because they gave almost like a tabla sound because it was a constant ringing note, especially when I played other short sounding surfaces like rims or cowbell like this. Which is kind of hip because you get like this ringing note, droning vibe, and they also sound weird because they're plastic, and you can hit them on anything. I like that about them. They sounded kind of cool. They're a little awkward to play with at first because they're different shape, but that's the cool thing about all these different mallets and instruments you can use. They're just something else to learn and some other sounds that you can hopefully add to your arsenal. So going down the line here, Vic Firth also made these Maraca mallets. These are the first Rattler mallets actually that they had. They're these very light, almost like they're yarn. They're almost like xylophone mallets, and they have these little jingles inside. I like these. They sounded kind of cool. I had to glue one back because I broke it. So you know, these have a very interesting sound. But I found that their jingle didn't quite cut through for what I was using them for, so I was glad when Vic Firth came out with these new ones, which are larger, more durable, have a stronger handle, and they're just louder. These are, yeah, the green Maraca mallets. Vic Firth Maraca mallets. I mean, you could take anything. You could take like a shaker and hit things with it. That could be kind of hip. You can even take your old household whisk. Somebody gave me this, and this has kind of a cool sound. So I'll play this with a shaker and see all the crazy things you can get. So, those are just a few of the ideas of the different things you can find at the music store, or in the catalogs or on the internet, of just things beside drumsticks that we as drummers have at our disposal nowadays, where we can use them on lighter gigs, in the studio, just at home when you're practicing, when you're in the car, whatever. Try to just be creative and find different musical ideas and have fun. And thanks for tuning in to Flip of the Week.